You got a job interview or something?
Something like that. You mind if I have a seat?
Go ahead. Take a seat, brother.
Welcome to Simply Explained English. I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
Okay, today we'll listen to the second part of a life story taking place between two homeless men. It's an inspirational story. You can watch the first part in the link above. First, we'll listen to a very short summary of the first part, and then watch the second part.
By the way, don't forget to get the free transcript file in the description section.
Marcus, a homeless man, is trying to get some change to buy food. A woman offers him $20. After some hesitation, Marcus accepts it with gratitude. Soon after, Marcus meets Mike, another homeless man. They share their stories. Marcus lost everything after his girlfriend cleared out his bank account, and he got laid off. Despite their hardships, Marcus stays positive and encourages Mike, offering him the money the woman gave him.
Look, you're very new around here, brother. Let me give you a hand in a... So take it, please.
Oh no, man. I can't accept that.
Sure you can, man. Just go and get some breakfast for yourself, man.
Look, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the gesture, but I can't take this.
Just go and get some breakfast for yourself, man.
Look, I tell you what we can do. We can split it. We can go to the store, and we can get enough food for the both of us.
No, it's all good. You take it, man. What I have learned recently is that helping others is a way to help ourselves.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you, Marcus.
No worries, bro. Okay, I need to go. You have a good day, brother. Good things are coming for both of us. Hopefully sooner than later.
Well, thank you, Marcus. I hope to see you around.
Excuse me, sir. Can you spare some change?
Hi, Marcus.
Mike, is that you?
Yeah, you're a hard person to find. I've been looking all over for you.
Mike, you're looking like $1,000,000. You got a job interview or something?
Something like that. You mind if I have a seat?
Go ahead. Take a seat, brother. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
So, Mike, do you have a job interview or something?
Something are a little bit better than that. Let me explain. First off, my name isn't Mike, it's Jimmy, and I'm actually not homeless. I actually own a multi-billion-dollar tech company.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, my company donates millions of dollars to charity every year, but I never get to meet any of the people we help. At least, not on a personal level. Well, I went undercover, so to speak, because I wanted to see if I could meet somebody who was generous and maybe needed our help. And well, the other day, your act of generosity. That was truly inspiring.
Oh man, that was nothing. I was just trying to help.
That's why I'm here to return the favor.
What do you mean? What's this?
That's like $2,000 in here.
Oh man, I can't take this, bro.
You can't turn this down, Marcus. You deserve it. And there is more.
More?
Yeah, once you get yourself situated somewhere, I want you to give me a call. This is my number. I have a job waiting for you in one of our warehouses. Now, it's an entry-level position, but it is a decent pay, and it also does have decent medical benefits.
I don't know what to say.
Helping others is the way that we help ourselves. You taught me that, Marcus.
Is that what happened to me, bro? Thank you so much. Bless you.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. Mike went undercover to find genuine kindness.
And Marcus, without knowing who Mike was, still helped him.
Exactly. And Mike gave back, not just money, but a real opportunity.
A good reminder for all of us to keep helping.
Absolutely. Okay, well, what are the words today, Eric?
The first word today is inspiring. Then we will continue with decent and to donate, then to turn down. The final one is get somebody wrong.
Let's start with the first word.
The first word is inspiring.
Inspiring.
Let's listen to how it is used in the story.
And well, the other day, your act of generosity, that was truly inspiring.
So, Lisa, have you ever watched a movie or heard a story that made you feel like you could do anything?
Oh, yes. Those moments give me so much energy and hope.
That's the feeling behind the word inspiring. The word inspiring comes from the verb inspire, which means to fill someone with a positive feeling or desire to do something. If something is inspiring, it makes you feel uplifted and ready to take action.
Okay, let's give our listeners some examples.
Sure. Here's one. The teacher's kind words were so inspiring that the students felt confident about their project. It means the teacher's words motivated the students and gave them confidence in their work.
That's a good one. Here's another. She was an inspiring example to her followers. It means she motivated her followers by being a positive role model. Eric, would you say that inspiring is a formal or informal word?
Inspiring works in both formal and informal situations. You can use it in casual conversations or even in a work presentation.
And is the word usually positive? Is it a good way to show you think something is important or special?
Exactly. It is used in a positively. And if you want to use it as a verb, you can say, she inspires me to work harder. Now it's your turn, listeners. Think of something or someone that inspires you. Maybe it's a book, a person, or even a place. Try making a sentence with the word inspiring and write it in the comment section.
Okay, good idea. We are waiting to see your comments. Okay, well, I think we've explained the word inspiring pretty well. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is decent.
Decent.
Now, let's see how this word is used in the podcast, and then we'll explain it in more detail.
Now it's an entry-level position, but it is a decent pay, and it also does have decent medical benefits.
Decent is an adjective. It means something is good enough or okay, not amazing, but acceptable. For example, if you say the weather is decent, it means the weather is fine, not too hot or too cold.
Oh, that's interesting. So if I say I had a decent lunch, it means my lunch was okay, not the best meal ever, but it wasn't bad either.
Exactly, Lisa. Let me give another example. He's a decent football player. This means he plays football well, but he's not a superstar.
Got it. Here's another one. They found a decent place to stay for the night. This means the place they found was comfortable and okay to stay in. Not too fancy, but it was fine.
Yes, Lisa. Here's a small grammar tip about decent. We often use it to describe things or people in a neutral or positive way. For example, you might say a decent job or a decent amount of money.
Oh, so it's good to remember that. It works well with those kinds of nouns. Is it a formal or informal word?
Decent is neutral. It works in both formal and informal settings. For example, you can say, that's a decent proposal in a business meeting, or that's a decent pizza when talking with friends.
That's super useful. So it's a word we can use almost anywhere.
Exactly, Lisa.
Okay, well, shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next word is donate.
Donate.
Now, let's see how this word is used in the podcast.
My company donates millions of dollars to charity every year.
Donate is a verb. It means to give something like money, clothes, or time to help others without asking for anything in return. For example, people donate to charities to help those in need.
Oh, that's a kind thing to do. So if I give my old clothes to a charity shop, I'm donating them, right?
Exactly, Lisa. Let me give another example. They donated money to build a new hospital. This means they gave money to help pay for the hospital, and they didn't expect to get paid back.
That's a great example. Here's another one. She donated her time to teach children how to read. This means she gave her time and effort for free to help the children.
Now, here's a small grammar tip about donate. We use it in the form of donate something to somebody or something. For example, they donated clothes to the shelter, or he donated money to the school.
So if I say, I donated food the organization, that's not correct. I should say, I donated food to the organization, right?
Exactly. And here's something else. Donate is a formal word, so it's often used in serious or official situations, like talking about helping charities or giving to important causes.
That makes sense. So, in casual situations, I might just say, I gave some clothes to my friend. But if it's for a charity, I'd say, I donated clothes to the charity.
That's right, Lisa.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the word donate better. Now let's move on to our next phrase.
Let's do it. The next word is turn down.
Turn down.
Now, let's see how this phrase is used in the podcast, and then we'll explain it in more detail.
You can't turn this down, Marcus. You deserve it.
Turn down is a phrasal verb, and in this context, it means to refuse or say no for something, like an offer, invitation, or request. It can also mean to lower something, such as volume, brightness, or heat. For example, you can turn down a job offer or turn down the volume on the TV. But we'll focus on the first meaning today.
Oh, so if someone offers me a job I can turn it down?
Exactly. Here's an example. He turned down the promotion because he didn't want the extra responsibility. In this case, turned down means he refused the promotion.
I've got another one. She turned down the invitation to the wedding because she was busy. Here, turned down means she said no to the invitation.
Great example. Let's look at some grammar tips. Turn down is often followed by a noun or pronoun. For instance, you can say, I turned down the offer, or I turned it down.
Oh, I see. So if I use a pronoun, it has to go between turn and down, like turn it down, not turn down it.
Exactly. That's an important rule. Another thing to remember is that the meaning of turn down is neutral. You can use it in both formal and informal situations. For example, you could say, I turned down a loan offer from the bank, or casually tell a friend, I turned down the chance to go hiking.
That's so helpful. So, turn down is perfect when you want to talk about saying no to something politely or firmly.
Absolutely. It's a word you'll hear a lot in English.
Okay, well, I think our followers understand it better now. Let's move on to the last word of today, Eric.
Okay, Lisa. The last word is get somebody wrong.
Get somebody wrong.
Let's hear how it was used in the story.
Look, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the gesture, but I can't take this.
Get somebody wrong is an idiom. It means to misunderstand someone.
Oh, like when someone thinks you mean one thing, but you're actually saying something else?
Exactly, Lisa. For example, if I say, don't get me wrong, I like pizza, but I can't eat it every day. It means I don't want you to misunderstand me. I like pizza, but eating it every day is too much for me.
Ah, so it's like you're clearing up a possible misunderstanding before it happens. That's a great example. Let's give our listeners a chance to practice. Imagine, someone thinks you're angry with them, but you're actually just tired. How could you explain that using today's phrase?
Here's one way. Don't get me wrong, I'm not upset with you. I'm just really tired today.
Oh, I see. How about this one? I think you got him wrong. He wasn't trying to be mean, he was just joking.
That's a great one. Or, she got me wrong when I said I didn't want dessert. I meant I was too full, not that I don't like it.
And here's another. Don't get us wrong, we love your idea, but we need more time to think about it.
Excellent examples, Lisa. It's such a handy phrase for avoiding or fixing misunderstandings.
And it's super common in spoken English, right?
Yes, very common. It's informal, so you would use it in conversations with friends, family, or even co-workers if the situation isn't too formal. But you wouldn't use it in formal writing, like an essay.
I hope our followers understand what it means now.
I hope so, Lisa.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. Keep studying your English
And stay tuned. Bye for now. Welcome to Simply Explained English. I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
Okay, today we'll listen to a podcast about Black Friday. Is Black Friday worth it? Let's listen to it.
Remember, you can get the free transcript file in the description section.
Welcome back to Simple Chats in English. I'm Mark, here with my co-host, Emma. Today we are talking about a very popular shopping day, Black Friday. Emma, do you like shopping on Black Friday?
Hi, Mark. Not really. I don't enjoy the big crowds in stores, but I sometimes shop online because the deals can be really good. What about you?
I like it, but only if I need something specific. Otherwise, I avoid the madness. So, Emma, let's answer the big question together. Is Black Friday worth it?
Difficult question. But actually, it has many pros and cons.
I agree. So, let's start with the pros. The good things about Black Friday.
Okay. First, the discounts can be amazing. Many stores drop their prices by 30%, 50%, or even more. It's a great time to buy big items like TVs, laptops, or smartphones for a lower price.
Yes, and Black Friday is also perfect for holiday shopping. If you want to buy gifts for your family or friends, you can do it early and save money.
Various offers are another good thing. Almost every shop has sales, from clothing stores to electronics. And if you don't like going to the mall, you can shop online from home.
That's true. Online shopping on Black Friday is more popular than ever. But now, let's talk about the cons, the bad parts of Black Friday.
Oh, the crowds are the worst. If you go to a store, there are so many people. Everyone is rushing and it feels stressful. Some people even fight over products.
Yes, and even online shopping has problems. Sometimes websites crash because too many people are shopping at the same time. Or the item you want is sold out very quickly.
Another issue is impulse buying, which means buying something without really thinking if you need it. It's easy to see a sale and think, wow, this is cheap. Then you buy something you don't really use.
Exactly. And some deals are not as good as they seem. Stores sometimes increase the original price to make the discount look bigger.
So, Mark, what should we do during Black Friday? Do you have some tips?
It depends. If you plan ahead, know what you want, and stick to your budgets, Black Friday can be very useful. But if you just shop without thinking, it's easy to waste money.
I agree. The key is smart shopping. Compare prices before Black Friday and don't buy things just because they are on sale.
Another tip is to set a budget. Decide how much you want to spend and don't exceed that amount. Make sure not to break the bank. It's easy to lose control.
That's great advice. Oh, and don't forget about Cyber Monday. If you don't like the chaos of Black Friday, you can find online-only deals the following Monday.
Good point. Cyber Monday is quieter, and the deals are often just as good, especially for electronics and tech products.
One more thing to remember. Be careful with your personal information when shopping online. Only shop on trusted websites to avoid scams.
That's so important. There are many fake websites during Black Friday that try to steal your money or information.
Exactly. So, listeners, what do you think about Black Friday? Do you love it or hate it? Do you shop in stores? Or do you prefer online deals?
Let us know in the comments section. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Before we go, here's one last tip. Some stores have early Black Friday deals. If you don't want to shop on the big day, you can still find discounts earlier in the week.
That's true. Many stores now offer Black Friday week or even Black Friday month sales. You don't have to wait for one day to shop.
So, plan ahead, shop wisely, and enjoy the savings. Thanks for listening to today's episode.
And remember, smart shopping is the best shopping. See you next time.
Hey Lisa, what do you think about Mark and Emma's take on Black Friday?
I think they made some really good points. I agree that it's easy to lose control and end up buying things we don't need.
Absolutely. I think planning ahead and sticking to a budget is the key. Otherwise, it's just spending crazily.
Right. Smart shopping is the way to go. Okay, well, let's have a look at the words today.
Okay, the first word today is various. Then we will continue with to compare and pros and cons. Then to be sold out. And the final one is break the bank.
Let's start with the first word.
The first word is various.
Various.
First, let's hear how it is used in the podcast.
Various offers are another good thing.
Various is an adjective. It means different kinds of something. For example, if I say, I like various fruits, it means I like many kinds of fruits, like apples, oranges, and bananas.
So it's very similar to different.
Exactly. We often use various when we want to talk about a group of things without listing every single one.
Is it formal or informal?
Various is quite neutral. You can use it in both formal and informal situations. For example, in a formal sentence, the company offers various services to help clients. In an informal sentence, I tried various games on my phone yesterday.
That's handy. So how do we use it in a sentence?
It usually comes before a plural noun. For example, she has visited various countries. The store sells various types of bread.
Oh, I see. It's always followed by something plural, like countries or types.
Exactly, and it's good to remember that various can't stand alone. You need to follow it with a noun.
So I couldn't just say, I've seen various, right?
That's right, Lisa. You'd need to add the noun, like, I've seen various animals.
Makes sense. Thanks, Eric. Before we wrap up, let's summarize. Various means different kinds of something. It's neutral, so you can use it formally or informally. And remember, it always comes before a plural noun.
Well said, Lisa.
Okay, well, that's all for the word various. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is to compare.
To compare.
Now, let's see how this word is used in the podcast, and then we'll explain it in more detail.
The key is smart shopping. Compare prices before Black Friday, and don't buy things just because they are on sale.
To compare is a verb. It means looking at two or more things to see how they are the same or how they are different. For example, you might compare two cars to decide which one you want to buy.
That's right, Eric. We often compare things when we need to make a choice or explain differences.
Here's an example. I compared the two phones before buying one. This means I looked at the phones to see which one was better or which one I liked more.
And another example. She compared her painting to her teacher's. This means she looked at her painting and her teacher's painting to see how they were similar or different.
Now, let's talk about some grammar tips. When we use to compare, we usually follow it with to or with. For example, you can say, I compared my old phone to my new phone, or I compared the two phones with each other. Both are correct.
That's a good point, Eric. Does compare work for people too? For example, can I say, people often compare me to my sister?
Yes, you can. In that sentence, compare to shows a general similarity, like how you and your sister might look alike or act alike.
How about being formal or informal, Eric?
When it comes to formal or informal use, to compare is neutral. You can use it in both formal and informal situations.
So it's a really useful word for all kinds of conversations, right?
Exactly, Lisa.
Okay, well, I think now our listeners understand the word to compare better. Now let's move on to our next phrase.
The next phrase is pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Now, let's hear how this phrase is used in the podcast.
Difficult question. But actually, it has many pros and cons.
Pros and cons is a phrase we use to talk about the good and bad things about something, the advantages and disadvantages.
Yes, pros are the good points, and cons are the bad points. For example, if you're deciding whether to buy a car, you might think about the pros and cons.
Exactly. Here's an example sentence. There are pros and cons to working from home. A pro is that you can save time, but a con is that you can feel lonely.
I have another example. Before you move to a new city, it's important to think about the pros and cons. This means you should look at the whole situation before deciding.
So let's talk about how to use pros and cons in sentences. You usually use it with there are or think about. For example, there are pros and cons to every decision, or let's think about the pros and cons before we decide.
Is this a formal or casual phrase?
Pros and cons is a neutral phrase. It works everywhere, in casual talks with friends or in business meetings, like in conversations, emails, or even essays.
That's good to know. So it's useful for lots of situations.
Yes. Remember, friends, when learning English, think about the pros and cons of different study methods.
Okay, well, we've explained pros and cons pretty well. Shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next word is to be sold out.
To be sold out.
Now, let's see how this phrase is used in the podcast.
Or the item you want is sold out very quickly.
To be sold out means that all the items of something, like tickets, clothes, or food, have been bought and there's nothing left to buy. For example, if a concert is very popular, the tickets might be sold out.
Oh yes, that happens a lot with famous singers. If their tickets are sold out, it means no one else can buy them anymore.
Exactly. Here's an example. The new video game was sold out in all the stores on the first day. This means everyone bought the game so quickly that there were no more copies left to sell.
Another example is, we went to the bakery to get our favorite cake, but it was sold out. This means there were no more cakes left because other people had already bought all of them. Eric, can I say, the concert will be sold out?
Absolutely. That's the future tense. You might say that if you expect the tickets to sell quickly.
Is it formal or informal, Eric?
To be sold out is neutral, so it works in both formal and informal situations. You can use it in a casual chat with friends or when giving information to customers.
A friendly reminder. If you want to buy something popular, don't wait too long. It might be sold out. Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase to be sold out better. Now, let's move on to our last word.
The last word is break the bank.
Break the bank.
Now, let's hear how this phrase was used in the podcast.
Make sure not to break the bank. It's easy to lose control.
The phrase break the bank is an idiom. It means spending so much money on something that is very expensive or more than you can afford.
You can use this idiom when you're talking about things that cost too much, like a holiday or a fancy car.
For example, we wanted to buy a new TV, but we didn't want to break the bank, so we chose a cheaper one. This means they wanted a TV but didn't want to spend too much money.
Here's another example. Going to that restaurant won't break the bank. It's actually quite affordable. This means the restaurant isn't too expensive, so it's a good choice.
Now, a quick grammar tip. This phrase is often used with modal verbs like can or will. For example, this trip won't break the bank. It's also common to use it in the negative form to say something is affordable.
Oh, that's interesting. So, if I say, this new dress won't break the bank, I'm telling someone, it's not too expensive, right?
Exactly, Lisa.
Is this phrase formal or informal?
It's mostly informal, and it's commonly used in everyday conversation.
So, I can use it when chatting with friends about prices or costs, but not in a very serious business meeting, right?
That's correct, Lisa. It's perfect for casual talks about money.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. Keep studying your English.
And stay tuned. Bye for now.